What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the 40K Cafe, and thank you Irish Ninja for the request. This comment is pertaining to my video on the Living Saint, and more specifically, the Living Saint, Saint Sabbat. Saint Sabbat's story would begin in the mid-35th millennium as she was born on the imperial world Hagia, and although we don't know much of her early life as it is clouded in mystery, we do know that the majority of the sector that she was born in was actually dominated by the forces of chaos and/or Xenos scum. And it is sometime in her early life that she ended up receiving a vision supposedly by the Emperor. This is what would inspire her to join the Imperial forces and the military and begin liberating the region from all of the forces I just mentioned. Her power and achievements would grow to the point that she was able to work alongside fellow Astartes like those of the Brazen Skulls as well as the White Scars, and she would continue to put her life on the line for the Imperium all throughout her servitude for the next 105 years until finally she would succumb to her martyrdom. We don't really know exactly how she fell, but we do know that she passed on the planet of Harkonnen, and apparently her passing was as a result of the 9 holy wounds, but we are unsure exactly as to what that is. At least I couldn't find anything on it. After her passing, her body was eventually recovered and placed back in her homeworld of Hagia, and rumor has it, it is said that if you remove her body from her tomb, that the planet would fall to chaos. Like many living saints, Saint Sabbat reincarnates in the most dire moments of the Imperium. One of the most notable moments that she would reincarnate has to be during the events of the Sabbat Crusades. As the Sabbat sector was being assaulted by the forces of chaos, Saint Sabbat would reincarnate as an Eloshai girl who actually stemmed from Hagia. Freshly reincarnated, she would take to the front lines, inspiring Imperial troops around her and take the fight back to the forces of chaos. She has made her presence known in a handful of 40K novels. In case you ever want to check it out, you can always look at the book that I just referenced, The Sabbat Crusades. Also, she does make a reference and/or appearance in the Codex of the Adeptus Auroritas, and my personal favorite, she does make an appearance in Gaunt's Ghost, which, if you haven't read these novels, I highly recommend it. They're a great book series. Saint Sabbat, both in her life and after, has left quite the impact on the Imperium. They even named a whole entire region around her known as the Sabbat Sector or the Sabbat Worlds. Since her passing and her return to her homeworld, Hagia has become a holy planet that reveres her, but at the same time is hated by the forces of chaos. If you want to learn more about her, again, feel free to pick up one of the novels that I already referenced. They're all pretty good readings. And with that being said, Irish Ninja, thanks again for the request, and I hope you all enjoyed this video. Drop a comment if there's anything you guys want to hear about next, and as always, remember to follow for more.